what is some of the overall goals with Istio, and how do we sell it to higher ups? How would you sell it to higher ups in general? And I think that's a great set of questions. I'll go first, and then I'll let Weston and Vikas go. So I think that there's a couple different things, right? So there's what is the goal for Istio? There's like a couple different answers that I think you'll get depending on who you ask and how old the project is, right? So the answer used to be, the goal of Istio is to operationalize Envoy. But that's like a very low level, very technical answer, right? Like, yes, that is at the end of the day what Istio does, right? The real long-term goal of Istio is to be able to solve horizontal problems in the networking layer for an organization, right? It is, and this comes out of this idea, companies build software that looks like their company model. And the service mesh architecture came out of Google. They have a very specific way of dealing with production in the SRE team, right? And it is important to know that SREs are mandated to have sublinear growth compared to the growth of the overall engineering organization. So the only way that you can be successful is automation, and by empowering small teams to go enact change on behalf of the entire org. And so that really is where the end state, that's the end goal of Istio, of the service mesh architecture in general, which is to provide this common layer that you can use to deliver horizontal features, right? Features that are cross-cutting across every application. And to be able to pull those out of the set of concerns of an application developer and hand them off to a central team to manage. Maybe they can delegate down to individual teams where they need to, so they're not a bottleneck. And that's some of the controls that you need to put on top of a mesh. But the end goal is to empower your application developers to go build application features because they don't need to worry about these cross-cutting horizontal concerns, and to empower the teams that do care about those things to do them. To maybe give you an example that's like specific. In GCP, we had to ship IAM. Sorry, 1 second here. Lozenge was going on around, I apologize. We had to ship IAM, and that was across every single team in GCP all together, all at the same time. They had to ship 3 different API endpoints for every single resource that all went live at the same day with the same semantics. That was awful. Anytime you've had to coordinate and cat herd across 40 different teams or however many different teams in your organization, you know how hard that is to do. When it came time to do kind of the next rev of that stuff, we had the service mesh in place, and we had realized that we could use it for that. And it took a team of 2 people to ship it, right? To kind of ship the next rev, as opposed to having 1 person from 40 different teams work on this and the cross coordination that was required there. And it was more than 1 person for each of the 40 teams, so 1 person reporting in, right? And so that really is the long-term value, and that's how I would go sell it to the higher ups, right? Is look at the kind of force multiplier that it provides, and look at the way that it allows you to build centralized control for things that you care deeply about, things like the security posture of your organization, auditing, visibility, reporting, that kind of stuff. But delegate down to individual developers where you need to, things like routing, traffic management, that kind of stuff. So that's the rough, what the goal is, and kind of how I would sell it to higher ups. I don't know, Vikas, Weston, anything you want to add there?
I think you pretty much covered that.
It's pretty extensive, but yeah, maybe just adding like maybe the pieces that allow your developers to be more productive as well, which would be stuff like observability, out of the box support for that, and yeah, with the kind of move to like microservice and such, having like that security on the network layer, just to protect yourself, the security postures like you're mentioning. Yeah, maybe that's what else I would add. But
yep.